While I was talking about the Japanese title of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, I started to wonder about what happened in other countries, so I looked some up. The titles here all come from Wikipedia, and the English translations are from Google. The Italian title, which I suppose is the original, is very similar to the English, but apparently the order is different. Where the English title is set up like a comedy triple, the Italian one places the conflicted ugly in the middle of the polar opposites. Perhaps in this way of thinking, Tuco could end up fully embracing either good or evil ways, or he could remain eternally torn between the two. This may be a higher artistic intent, but it lacks the punch of the poppier English version. It seems there were two different Spanish titles. In Spain, they followed the Italian order, whereas in Latin America, they had the same order as the English. One thing that makes it hard to be certain about these translations is that bad and ugly can have similar meanings. In English, bad can mean evil or wicked, or low quality, or spoiled if you're talking about food. But if I don't like your taste in fashion, whether I say, that shirt looks bad, or that shirt looks ugly, it can mean the same thing. In the original language, the meanings already overlap, and there's no guarantee they'll overlap in the same way after you translate them. In English, the role that the plays in the title is to make it clear that we're talking about people. Good, bad, and ugly could just be abstract ideas, but the tells us to think about the good one, and the bad one, and the ugly one. Or ones, if you think they're talking about humanity in general. Ugly people. The Mongolian title adds 3. Is that for the same reason? I feel like it might be, but I've never studied Mongolian. I found 2 Spanish language titles, and similarly, there's a second in Portuguese. The Brazilian title follows a new pattern. It tells us there were 3 men, but not what type of men they were. The translation they gave me for the Chinese title is Twilight Escorts, but I can see the number 3 right in the middle of it. Remember, the Japanese title had sunset in it, and twilight is similar. The Korean title, too, has similar elements. The German title surprised me by cutting the main characters down to just 2. I guess they thought the focus of the story was on Blondie and Tuco's relationship. If so, then Angel Eyes is demoted to a pure antagonist, but I doubt this was the intent of the filmmakers. His intro sets him up as equal, and while he might have less screen time than the other 2, I haven't measured, we follow his investigation and see him interact with a variety of other characters. He's at least as developed as Blondie. Earlier, when I said Chinese, I meant standard Beijing Mandarin. There's a different title in Cantonese, and it isolates one character. Which one of the 3 is the Lone Ranger? I don't recall seeing any masks, although Tuco does wear an eye patch for a while. And is the cemetery the gates of hell? Then there's the Thai title. I don't even know what to say about this one, but it's wonderful.